Did you know that some of the most effective ways to protect your home from hurricane damage actually cost less than a dinner out? Most homeowners that I talk to assume that hurricane preparation means big bucks spent, but on storm shutters, generators, and expensive contractors. But in this video, I'll show you how you can prep your home for hurricane season without breaking the bank. My name is Ben Deinholm, and I'm a Central Florida real estate broker, and I've helped people move to and from the area for quite a few years now, and I've seen a lot of homes, and it sometimes baffles me why people don't do the little things that can actually mean a lot when the storm hits. The little things that can protect your most valuable investment, your home, when the storm hits. And that's when I realized that a lot of people don't know about these things. So I thought, well, maybe it's a good idea to make a video so I can share a little bit of what I've learned over the years. So today I'm going to share some smart and truly affordable strategies that you can use right now to weather the storm, quite literally. I'll be talking about some very simple upgrades, some overlooked fixes, and a few powerful items that you should always have ready. If you're watching from Florida, especially Central Florida, like Orange, Osceola, Lake, and Seminole counties, this episode is for you, but it could also be for you if you live on the coast, because some of the things, not always you get flooded on the coast, there are little things you can do that if you don't have the big disaster, that might actually help you from having less damage to your home. So if you're serious about staying ready, whether it's for storm or anything else real estate related, well, why don't you go ahead and hit that subscribe button and tap the little bell that says notifications so you're not missing out on my next video full of tips for homeowners in Florida. But let's get started. If you're interested, I'm sure you already did that. So let's move on to the next item on today's agenda. And that is why this actually matters, what I'm talking about today. And that is because every year, hurricanes and tropical storms cause billions and billions of dollars in property damage across Florida. And the financial fallout isn't just about repairs. It can hit your insurance premium, it can hit your resale value sometimes, and it can also sometimes hit your ability to even stay in your home. But most of the damage that happens in a storm is actually preventable. So let's start with number one, your garage doors. Your garage doors is often the weakest point in your entire home when it comes to wind damage. If high winds enter through your garage, they can literally blow the roof off your home. So replacing your door with a storm reinforced model can cost a few $1,000s and might not even be necessary. So if you're in a tight budget or just don't see the need to replace a perfectly well-functioning garage door with a brand new one, you could start with some storm clips. They cost less than $20, and if you can't be bothered to install them yourself, even though it only will take you a couple of minutes, you can get a handyman to install them, and my guess would be that the whole thing will cost you less than $200. And these things, they add a significant strength to your garage door by bracing it against storm winds. It is truly one of the highest return on investment hurricane preparations you can do. Number two I'm going to talk about today is window film. Impact windows are great. They are the best, especially if you are in an area where you usually get the brunt of the storm, but they are also expensive. So window film can be the next best thing, and it can be installed at the fraction of the cost. For under $100, you can buy storm-rated window film that adds a protective layer to your glass, and it helps keeping shards from flying into your home if a window breaks. That's a really, really cheap low-cost investment to make your home a little bit safer. I have to tell you, it will not stop a tree branch. It will not stop the neighbor's garbage can or even their car from running through your window, but it can reduce injury and secondary damage by simply keeping the glass shards in one place. You could probably install it yourself in an afternoon, and when you've done that, you just bought yourself peace of mind for a relatively low budget. And again, if you don't want to do it, hire a handyman. They won't charge you a bunch. They won't charge you a lot to do that. And if you don't know anybody, I'm happy to refer you to some of the good handymans I'm working with. Number three on my list is trim your trees. If you have big trees on your property, that can cause a lot of damage to your house. And this is one of the often most overlooked things when it comes to preparation, hurricane preparation. Loose limbs and overgrown trees are responsible for a ton of storm damage in Florida. And a branch smashing into your roof or shattering a window can turn an already stressful storm into a pretty much full-blown disaster. And you don't need to hire an arborist every year. Just grab a handsaw in some cases or a chainsaw and trim branches that hang over your roof, your car, or your power lines. Be careful. I'm not telling you to take any risks. If it's too risky, get somebody who's a professional to do it. But a lot of this stuff you can actually do yourself. But assess, is this something that I feel is too risky? I'm definitely not encouraging you to do anything that will put yourself in danger. That's the whole point of this video, is to keep you out of danger. And the goal is to keep you, your home, and your neighbors safe, and yourself safe. So if it's doable as a DIY job, do it. If not, hire somebody who's a professional. You don't have to do it every year. You can just do it every once in a while, and just keep those trees trimmed so you don't have any risk of big branches coming flying through your windows that you just put that that film on. Number 4, make sure you clean your gutters and drains regularly. In a heavy rain, a clogged gutter can back up water into your roofline and flood the base of your home. And this is how a lot of homes end up with mold, wood rot, and a weakened foundation. So it's really important, if you have gutters, to keep them clean. If you have any drains you have, keep them clean so the water can escape. That is also something that you often can do yourself. Get up there, clear out those leaves and flush the downspouts. Again, if it feels too dangerous, it's not too expensive to hire somebody to do it. Just make sure that that water can move away from your house so it doesn't damage your house. And if you do it yourself, it literally costs you nothing but your time, but it can save you thousands in damage. Number 5 on my little list is seal the cracks. Water has a funny way of finding its way in, especially during a storm. So check your windows, your doors, and even your vents for cracks and old caulking. A $5 tube of silicone sealant can actually go a long way, and they can block moisture from intrusion and prevent mold growth inside your home. This could be a Saturday project that could pay off for years. Number 6, build a realistic emergency kit. Don't go down that survivalist YouTube rabbit hole, at least not because of storm. There might be other reasons you want to go down that rabbit hole, but indeed not because of the storm coming. You don't need to spend hundreds on even thousands of dollars for preparing for the apocalypse. But here is what you should have as a Central Florida homeowner. You should have water when the storm comes, 1 gallon per person per day for at least 3 days. So if you're 4 people in the house, that's 3 days times 4 people. That's 12 gallons, if I'm not mistaken. Have a flashlight with extra batteries. Don't entirely rely on your phone's flashlight. You might need your phone for other things. So every time you use your phone's flashlight, you're draining the battery. And if you don't have any power, you cannot recharge it. Make sure you have a first aid kit. Make sure you have power banks for your phone. Again, you might need that. And another good thing to have on hand is a battery-powered weather radio, so you can follow the radio, the weather, if TVs and everything else doesn't work. Make sure you have some basic food supplies, a little bit of beans or any other canned food or dry goods that you can eat. Again, you probably don't need more than for 3 days, because usually we get up and running quicker than that, but it's just good to have a little bit so you don't go and starve yourself for a few days. And make sure you keep that emergency kit in a waterproof plastic bin and check it every season that it's still there. And maybe once season is over, get those food items out and eat them or donate them to charity and buy new stuff next year. Another thing that's often overlooked, because once it's hit, it's too late, and that's store your important documents digitally. Make sure you scan your home insurance policy, your IDs, your medical records, and your bank information, and store them securely in the cloud. So if you do have to evacuate, you don't have to waste time on searching for those things or risk losing paperwork and floodwater. If they're in the cloud, they're pretty safe. And a little bonus tip here is make sure you take pictures of all your valuable items and the way the house looks before, so if you do have an insurance claim, that you can prove what you actually lost. And little bonus tip, talk to your neighbors. Because why is that? Well, because pooling resources, like if you do want to have generators or tools, maybe if you're on a budget, maybe buy those with your neighbors and share them in a storm situation. And plus that, if you know your neighbors in a bad situation, it's often your neighbors who can be there on site first, not the first responder. So it's nice to know who you can expect to show up. So don't wait until a storm is forming in the Gulf. Take these simple steps now so you're ready for when the storm comes in. You do not need to go broke to be protected. A little effort today can save you thousands tomorrow. And by the way, if you did find this helpful, maybe consider hit that button and subscribing. I have more videos coming up, so also hit that little notification button so you get notified every time I upload a video. If you have any hurricane stories to share, please put them in the comments. I'd like to know how you prepared for the storm last time and how you got through it safely and soundly, hopefully. And if you didn't, what was the reason for that? Thank you so much for watching.